Sup? This is Greggatron. Ah! Yeah! Yeah. Beautiful piece of work. How are y'all? Check it out. Look at him. It is great. How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I am. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy day of rest. We all need rest, that's for sure. Alright, today I'm going to talk to y'all about relationships. I got to talk about this. It's not so serious, so just calm down, people. Just relax. But I got to say this. Alright. Without further ado, I was at work yesterday, right? And I can't tell y'all what I do for a living, because then I'll have to, yeah. Anyway, there's this woman who I see at my job, and she's got titties just out like a mug, cleavage everywhere. You can see more cleavage than not, right? And they were pretty big, by the way. And her man is walking right alongside with her. And she's got sunglasses on. You know, she's what you would consider a baddie, right? She's like an Instagram model looking woman. I think she might have had heels on. I can't remember. I wasn't looking at her feet. You know what I mean? Anyway, they walk in. They take care of the business they were there for. Anyway, I walk up to my coworker. I was like, "Hey man, come here. Come here." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Hey man, you're a married man, right?" He's like, Yeah, I'm married." I said, "That's what I thought." I said, "Hey man, you wouldn't let your wife leave the house looking like that, would you?" He's like, "Oh no, absolutely not." And he knew exactly who I was talking about. He's like, "Oh no, mm-mm." Anyway, we have not a long conversation, but we had a conversation about it. So that's what I want to talk to y'all about. And this isn't just for the ladies. This is for the men too. Because this whole discussion goes both ways. But since it's pertaining to a woman, it's not just this particular woman. She just sparked my interest to make this video. This is for any woman who goes out in public dressed this way with her husband or without the husband. But like I said, the husband or the man, whoever he was, he knew about it because he was right there with her. So that's what this video is about. The relationship between him and her as far as communication goes and presentation goes. Alright. So, like I said, let me start with her. And this isn't just about them. Like I said, so don't freak out. Greg made a video about some woman at his job. No, this is just generally speaking. Alright, y'all know where I'm coming from. Y'all know my heart is in the right place. Anyway, so let me say this. You know, ladies, that men are dogs, right? You know we're dogs. When I say we, I'm just talking about men who are dogs. I'm not saying every man's a dog, but even if he used to be a dog and he's no longer a dog, you showing that type of activity up there, you're gonna make him even want to revert back to his dog ways. But I'll get back to that later. You know men are dogs, right? And you know men are quote unquote creatures who go after what they see. Lust is the man's biggest weakness. That and food. The two things a man needs to overcome: food and lust. With that said, you know men are dogs. Why would you then leave the house dressed like that? I'm telling you guys, her titties were just out. They were so out, it's like if she bumped into something wrong, or if she bent over to tie her shoe, or if she sneezed, anything like that, any quick sudden motion, one of them could have fell out, like Janet Jackson. I couldn't even tell there was a bra on under there. It was that bad. And it was a beautiful day outside, don't get me wrong. But still, you know men are dogs. You know that's the first thing we're going to see. So you're easily just attracting the wrong type of attention. And she could be a beautiful person on the inside. It's possible. It is possible. But we don't need to see all that. Her body was on full display that day. And let me say this. Don't get it twisted. She could have a beautiful figure. She could have curves and all that. Because that's what the good Lord gave her. There's nothing wrong with that. But to go out of your way to show all that, that's overkill. Because now you're going to get the wrong type of attention. Well, then the double standard to what I just said, people are going to say, well, Greg, you got your arms out. Look, you're showing your muscles. That's the same thing, Greg. No, it's not. I'm at home, first of all. And even if I'm on my bicycle with a shirt off, that's just me getting some exercise. I don't go to work like that. When I go to work, I'm covered up. So she can have a good figure. There's nothing wrong with that. But she went out of her way for that attention. And she was wearing sunglasses. Here's the thing about baddies who wear sunglasses in public. They know they're bad and they know what they look like. So they put on these sunglasses. They might not have been sunglasses. They were like the glasses with the... What is that? The custom-made glasses. She probably didn't even need glasses. But anyway, she had on, let's just call them sunglasses for the sake of the discussion. Any woman who is quote-unquote an Instagram model-looking woman with sunglasses on inside of a building, she's doing that for a reason. Alright? She's looking around. She doesn't even need to turn her head. She's looking around to see, ooh, who's looking at me? I want to know who's looking at me. Oh, he's looking at me like this. It's like, if we look at you, we'll be called a pervert. But if we don't look at her, you'll say, oh, I must not be attractive, or oh, he must be gay. What? So that's why I don't understand this. Let me say this and move on. Social media has done my generation a huge disservice. Because she looked like she was close to my age. She was between 33 and probably 39. I hope she wasn't in her 40s. I hope not. Because you're in a place in public where there's women and children, old people, different age groups. You don't need all that on display. Alright? Now, let me move on to the men. Men, if this is your woman, you need to put your foot down. Do not, and this is what me and my coworker talked about, you have no business letting her leave the house like that. Even if y'all are just dating, I remember when I was in my early 20s, I was dating this woman. We were the same age. I think I was 22 at the time. And we were going to run some errands. She wanted to go to Walmart. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. She was going to go in pajamas. I was like, no, I ain't taking you to Walmart with me in some pajamas. Anyway, she did it anyway. Well, that relationship didn't last very long because I could see, well, she's not going to listen. For one, she's wearing pajamas in public. Two, she doesn't want to listen to me about the pajamas in public. And we didn't break up for that reason, but it was things that led to different things. But when you see little red flags like that, those small red flags need to indicate she might not be a keeper. Same thing goes with this other dress code thing. Because it's all dress, right? Some might think, well, that's innocent. Who cares about how people dress? It's a free country. Let people dress the way they want to dress. That's fine and dandy. But if she's not going to listen to you about small things like that, which is actually for her own good, she just doesn't know it. If she's not going to listen to small things about that, she's not going to listen to things about finances, anything else, the relationship in itself. She just won't listen to you. So you got to catch these red flags, gentlemen. Also, what was I going to say? You have no business letting her leave the house like this. Because I think on his part, it was just an ego thing. He's walking alongside her thinking, yeah, I bet you dudes are looking. But guess what, y'all? She's going home with me. Bro, clearly she's going home with you. Y'all walked in here together. But why do you think it's okay to have her on display like that? Because of me or my coworker or anybody else in that room, anybody else in that building, facility, business, corporation, whatever you want to call it, establishment, you name it. If anybody talks to her in the wrong way or says something to her or looks at her in the wrong way, you're going to be the first one heated. And guess what? And my coworker, we're just joking, but he said to me, yeah, he's going to be the first one to get beat up. Yeah. But like, I just don't get it. Like, on one hand, you want her to be looking all beautiful and sexy because he might see it as a trophy thing. But on the other hand, if we say something to her or look at her, then he'll be on the defensive. Bro, you know what reaction she'll get when people see her. You knew this before y'all left the house. So I just don't get why they continue to do this. And they probably go everywhere like this, like her dressed like that. But the minute someone says something, like, what if there's a dog out there who's just like, I think that's a Dave Chappelle joke, where he's like, damn, look at them titties. So it goes both ways. It's not just for the... Because y'all might think, oh, he's just talking about women again. No, this is about relationships, period. Because it's a sexual thing. And the devil will use that desire, lust, against you. Even if you have no intention of even thinking that. The devil will put a thought in your head and say, ooh, look at her. She wants you to look at her. You know what I mean? It's not even a slippery slope. There is no slope to this. It's just wrong. Like, there's no gray area. This is black and white. This is just totally wrong. I would not want my wife out there like that. Never that. Because it's almost like she's saying, you know, I'll leave for any one of these dudes as long as he got more money. And she looked like the kind of woman who had multiple dudes for multiple things. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had, like, dudes on the side. giving her money. And then she'll take that money and she'll give it to her man. I wouldn't be surprised by that. He might be perfectly aware of this, for all I know. But this is just my imagination talking. My point is, relationships, people, just be normal, man. Just be normal. You ain't gotta do all that. She's beautiful. That's fine. Wonderful. But what do y'all think about this? Like, I would not want my wife out there like that. Knowing the world is crazy. She's already going to get attention if she is covered up. So with all the titties out, that's extra attention. It's not just attention she's getting. It's the wrong type of attention. You don't want that. He might view her as a trophy wife. That's not a trophy wife, G. This whole trophy wife thing, as far as that goes, it could totally backfire. A trophy wife is supposed to make you look better. But what she's doing does not make you look better. That's making you both look worse. It's making it look like she doesn't care what you think either way. Whether you told her to wear that or not to wear it, she's going to wear it anyway. It makes it look like she's a baddie. A woman who attracts the wrong type of crowd. That's not what a trophy wife is, my dude. And I don't know if they're married. My point is, trophy wives usually have, nice clothing. They're like built like a model or something. Like Melania Trump. She's probably, she's more of a trophy. And she's not, but you know what I mean. She's got that look. But a trophy wife doesn't need to have all that showing. You know what I mean? You want a woman who you can introduce to your parents. Both of your parents. But if she has all that showing, my parents are going to be the last person to meet you. You know what I'm saying? Especially your mom. Because if I introduced my woman, and if she looked like that, this all out, to my mom would be like, what the? I just wouldn't do it. I know my sister would talk stuff. Because my sister, she's the type who, after we leave, my sister be like, did y'all see that woman who Greg brought in here? She had titties all over the place. Yeah, my family wouldn't go for that. Nah. No. You can't start a family with a woman like that if you can't even introduce her to your own family or your prior family before making a family with this woman. A trophy wife would just look beautiful, and she's like on your arm. But this woman here, if the man wasn't with her, she would look like a gold digger. Point blank, period. You don't want a gold digger wife. You want a decent woman, a humble woman, someone who will add to what you already have. That's with or without wearing crazy, provocative. I mean, y'all should have seen this. This was ridiculous. But yeah, and she knows she shouldn't be doing it. Come on, she knows. It's all for the attention. And this is all thanks to social media, in my opinion. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. I guarantee you, this woman had all that stuff. And she's probably getting the little Cash App. What's that? You know on YouTube how you can send super chats? Well, she's probably got like 50 to 100 simps on the internet who donate. She can make money just off of that, which is fine. Be a capitalist, but the husband needs to understand. Do you think it's okay, Mr. Husband, for her to be making that type of money from these dudes on the internet? I guarantee you she's on the internet. And there's a lot of women out there who are like that. And I'm not knocking the hustle. Because you can make money off of OnlyFans and all kind of stuff. But is the man comfortable? If you're the man in that situation, would you be comfortable with her making money on the side like that? From simps, I guess you could say. Simp money. Simp funds. If she's single, whatever, but this was a woman with a man. And I'm pretty sure they had a family. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, what do y'all think about this? Terrible. I wouldn't trust her to leave the house. I'd be like, I'm gonna get some shackles. I'm gonna chain your wrist to this water heater over here. That's crazy. This video is long enough. I want to know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Women, do you agree or do you disagree? And I kind of already know what people are going to say. But still, I like to hear what y'all have to say. Men, same thing. What do y'all think? Because the man versus woman thing, the answers could be totally different. But from the people who watch my channel, for the most part, you guys will probably agree for the most part that this is wrong. You know, the ladies are going to think this is wrong. Now, if you think, oh, leave her alone, let her be, stop talking about people, you wear what you want to wear, you got to look at it from a family point of view. She's not just some woman in college or some woman out and about. This is a woman in a relationship. She could be engaged, married, anything. So I guess my point to this story is, if you're single and you're presenting yourself that way, that's one thing. So be it. Which, you'll still get the wrong type of attention. You'll attract the wrong type of man. But if you're married, or if you're in a relationship, you definitely shouldn't be dressing like that. Definitely. So, and men, y'all gotta stand up and check your woman when it comes to that type of stuff. Because she'll check you when it comes to the money, or, did you get the eggs? Oh, no, I forgot the eggs. Dang it, I told you we need some eggs. She'll check you when it comes to that sort of thing. Did you get the detergent? Ah, I forgot the detergent. Dang it, I told you to get some detergent while you were out. She'll check you on everything she can. So, man, we got to check our women, too. And this is out of love. We're checking them because we love them. All right? So, shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the relationships out there who are trying to make it work. Shout out... Shout out to the couples. Shout out to the families. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the good people watching at home. Okay, now it's over. Thanks for watching. And peace.